Support the David Pakman Show and pick yourself up a Janus smartwatch designed by Kronos Blade. I love mine. It can do anything my phone can do. You can take photos with the dual camera, video conference, download any Android app, use it as a fitness tool. It can make calls like a phone. It has GPS. It has one of the biggest screens out there, 1.6 inches. Check it out using the link right underneath this video. So I woke up this morning, I had planned my morning, and we really planned the entire production day around watching as much of the Robert Mueller testimony before Congress as possible so that we could talk about it today, which I'm going to do right now rather than on tomorrow's show. And I thought as I got on my computer at 8:25 a.m. this morning to pull up the stream, I should see if Donald Trump has been tweeting because he's been panicking for days. Yesterday, we covered Donald Trump saying that Robert Mueller shouldn't even be allowed to testify. I should look at whether Donald Trump has sent any tweets. I pull up Donald Trump's Twitter account, and he sent 10 tweets in the hours and even minutes before Robert Mueller's testimony, starting last night, winding up even more this morning. This is a guy who's panicked. This is the president. It's important not to lose our sense of scope. This is the president devolving into a childish nincompoop. And I use the term nincompoop by its dictionary definition, not as an ad hominem, because of congressional testimony by a former special prosecutor. And you know what? Unfortunately, in a sense, fortunately for Trump, Mueller's testimony, at least the first several hours that have taken place as of right now, have not been particularly damaging to Donald Trump. But we'll get to that. Let's look at Donald Trump's tweets to begin with, starting last night. Quote, "So Robert Mueller has now asked for his longtime never-Trumper lawyer to sit beside him and help with answers. What's this all about? His lawyer represented the basement server guy who got off free in the crooked Hillary case. This should not be allowed. Rigged witch hunt." Continuing, "So Democrats and others can illegally fabricate a crime, try pinning it on a very innocent president, and when he fights back against this illegal and treasonous attack on our country, they call it obstruction? Wrong. Why didn't Robert Mueller investigate the investigators?" Continuing, quote, "It was never agreed that Robert Mueller could use one of his many Democrat never-Trumper lawyers to sit next to him and help him with his answers. This was specifically not agreed to, and I would never have agreed to it. Of course, it's not up to Trump. The greatest witch hunt in U.S. history by far. Why didn't Robert Mueller and his band of 18 angry Democrats spend any time investigating crooked Hillary Clinton, lying and leaking James Comey, Lisa Page, and her psycho lover Peter S., Andy McCabe, the beautiful Orr family, Fusion GPS, and many more, including himself and Andrew W.?" This is the president tweeting, okay? Continuing. "So why didn't the highly conflicted Robert Mueller investigate how and why crooked Hillary Clinton deleted and acid washed 33,000 emails immediately after getting a subpoena from the United States Congress? She must have great lawyers. No collusion, no obstruction. Keep America great." Continuing, this is still Trump on Twitter this morning. "It has been reported that Robert Mueller is saying that he did not apply and interview for the job of FBI director and get turned down the day before he was wrongfully appointed special counsel. Good luck even following this stuff. Hope he doesn't say that under oath, in that we have numerous witnesses to the interview, including the Vice President of the United States." Donald Trump melting down in a completely unprecedented way, which says a lot when we're talking about Donald Trump, who has melted down on Twitter many times before. But then in the end, and again, maybe something will change in the later hours of the testimony that's still going on as we're filming today, the first many hours have not been particularly damaging to Trump, although there were many damaging things said or confirmed by Robert Mueller. And Mueller is looking confused and not really with it, I have to say. What I was looking for going into the hearings today included, do Republicans go after Mueller personally, despite him having credentials that should appeal to the right? I mean, we're talking about military, a lifelong Republican, a life of public service. Do they try to assail his character? And they did to some degree. What new information comes out? And hint, the answer is none. Robert Mueller stating in his opening statement, listen, we've charged 30 defendants. We've had 7 convictions or guilty pleas. But basically, the report is my statement, and I will be limiting myself to what is in the report, pointing out, importantly, his report nor his investigation addressed collusion. They looked at conspiracy, but collusion is not something on which they reached a conclusion because he didn't look at that, period. And that's an important thing. But Mueller, by and large, looking confused, unable to hear questions persistently, I mean, regularly. And I don't think it's a strategy of trying to kill time by asking for almost every question to be repeated. Mueller asking people about who even some of the players in this thing were. At one point, I believe it was David Cicilline from Rhode Island asked about Corey Lewandowski, a very specific question, and Mueller said, can you just remind me who Corey Lewandowski even is? So I don't believe that this was strategy by Mueller. He genuinely seemed to be having trouble hearing, having trouble recalling people's names and their role in the investigation. To some degree, I guess, to be expected, because you're dealing with hundreds and even thousands of names here, but regularly saying, I'm going to pass on that one. That's outside my purview, clamming up. What's in the report is what I believe. Even sometimes saying he can't comment on something, being reminded by a member of Congress that it's in the report, and then saying, oh, well, in that case, my comment is what is in the report. I don't know that this was particularly successful for Democrats beyond one very specific series of questions towards the beginning, where Mueller answering with his very short yes, no's, it's in the report, it's out of my purview, did confirm the obstructive nature of Donald Trump's actions during the investigation, including that the motivation, to the extent that the investigation came to a conclusion on this, that Trump's motivation for his actions in attempting to obstruct were specifically meant to interfere with the investigation. So overall, I'll go right back to watching this after we're done filming today, and we'll have sort of a broader analysis tomorrow of the impact. It is not seeming to me that this testimony is going to be a game changer. And to that extent, for everybody who is waiting for something explosive to come out of it, as I said from the beginning, all we could really expect from these hearings, optimistically, was the proactive confirmation and publicizing of what was already in the report. Mueller made clear, the report is my statement. I will not go beyond it. There were lots of damaging things to Donald Trump confirmed, but in a way that, again, was sort of muddled, stumbling around in the dark, seemingly confused by Robert Mueller. Also, we learned that Congressman Louis Gohmert, is completely off the rails and really shouldn't be a member of Congress. If you saw bits of that testimony, you'll probably know what I mean. We will have sort of a full summary tomorrow, but I don't know that it is necessarily going to move the needle. And that is what gets me to this next topic, which is really of utmost importance at this point in time.